Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars, might be the future of Arenanet. What does that actually mean? We got not only the announcement trailer of Guild Wars Reforged, but we also got a blog post explaining what it means and what we can expect in the future. You can see the trailer in the background, link to this in the description below of course. I'm Summer and I will cover not only what we got announced and what it might mean, but also giving my opinion and my educated guess on the future of the Guild Wars franchise. As always, special shout out to all my dear supporters that literally helped me keep the lights on. And now without much further ado, let's jump straight into the matter. You can see here now the blog post. Blog post is of course also the link in the description. And they are announcing Guild Wars Reforged, which will launch on the 3rd of December. What is it all about? So Guild Wars is a game that is still ongoing. You can still play it. It was released in 2005 and it's still completely fine to play, but it didn't get any big updates anymore, like even small ones, not at all. So now they actually focusing back on Guild Wars. Not focusing in that regard, but they actually revive it, reforging it, whatever that exactly means. We will get to that in a second, but I think this is a nice thing for them to do because a lot of people like Guild Wars. It was somewhat bad for the company that they did not develop it further after Guild Wars 2 was announced. So what do they mean by that? They will try to make Guild Wars a live, active and let's say frequently updated game. Not in the big way that you get big expansions anymore, but they want to make the really big systems, the really big maps, the really big good things about Guild Wars just staying alive. That is the thing that they want to do. They want to make it so that new players can experience Guild Wars for a better experience. And how do they do that? They do that by actually doing 4 points. First of all, they increase the hardware compatibility. That is really good in my opinion. So Guild Wars Reforged, so the new version starting on the 3rd of December, can now be played on Steam Deck. That is already very, very good. So people that have Steam can play that and also on Steam Deck. So it's like very, very nice, just modern way to play Guild Wars. It's not for everyone, sure, but it's definitely something that is improved. Also, they will increase the DPI scaling so that it's better for the displays, also for UI and stuff like that. It's really, really nice. Just better resolution and better looking game. This goes also hand in hand with the visual and the audio updates, so it just looks better. That's really good. And they actually make the performance better. That is obviously for most people that play Guild Wars 2 not a big problem because Guild Wars 1 has lower performance needs than Guild Wars 2 has, but it makes it easier for you to use if you are running it on a toaster or if you want to use it on the Steam Deck. That's really nice. And of course, they also decrease the price and make it more bundled because Guild Wars, as Guild Wars 2 has expansions, but they now bundle it together for a very nice price from $20. I think that is definitely very worthwhile. Guild Wars has huge amount of content. It's an old game, yes, has a lot of content, and making it bundled together for a cheap price, I think that's good. Definitely very, very nice way. And of course, it also does not have a subscription fee. So very cheap how much content you can get there. And then you will also have the user friendliness improvements. They will update the UI and quest tracking system and the on-screen control. So what exactly that all involves, we will have to see. But that is already a really, really cool thing that they're updating UI features. And I think that is something that we direly need in Guild Wars 2 as well, like customizable UI. Hopefully something like that will happen in both games. We will have to see, but that is already a very, very cool like development that they actually focus on stuff that making the old game better. And hopefully they also focus on stuff making the current game, Guild Wars 2, better as well. We will have to see. And now to the part that actually a lot of people asked here. This will go live on the 3rd of December for all people. So that means if you purchase Guild Wars Reforged now, you will get the values here that I mentioned. But you will also be able to get those things that I mentioned if you already have purchased anything for Guild Wars. That is really nice. So it is going live for every single player that plays Guild Wars. That is really nice. Definitely something that is helping the game being not only more active, but also probably brings out some new players to the game, which is really interesting because it's a 20-year-old game. So we will have to see how much, but definitely a cool development, I would say. They also have a live stream on November 19th. So that is quite interesting. We will have to see what they say there, but probably just showcasing a lot of that stuff there. So now to the very interesting point here. What do I think about that? And more interestingly, what do I expect coming out of that for not only Guild Wars, but also Guild Wars 2 and just Arenanet in general. What is the future of the franchise? What can we draw from this? So Guild Wars was never shut down. So it is not a completely different thing now than it was before. It's just something that they now actively try to develop and maintain. This is not only single time update, but it also will be a series of updates where they try to increase just the replayability and just having new players engage with the game. If they like it, they will stick around, and that's stuff they want to keep Guild Wars active way more than in the last 10 years. So that is definitely a good thing. So do they now focus on Guild Wars? No, not at all. It's just something that they want to keep active because it's a product that they actually are proud of and they want to continue developing it. Will that draw resources from Guild Wars 2? I highly doubt it. I think they have outsourced most of the development to the 2 weeks team. And I think that is definitely a really good development, so that Guild Wars 2 will still be being actively the main product, but Guild Wars will be the Guild Wars Reforged, and people will be engaging with it, hopefully, and they have 2 games they can actually actively sell and hopefully actively, to some extent, develop. Is that the future of Guild Wars, the franchise? I'm not completely sure. Is that the unannounced project that they were hiring people for? I highly doubt that. It could be, don't get me wrong, it could be. But it's very unlikely because this seems like to be something that they outsourced to the 2 weeks team and they just were developing and helping them there, but nothing like that you have like 100 people working on that. I think the future of Guild Wars franchise is not Guild Wars 1. I highly doubt it. I think still that they are working on an unannounced big project in the background. What it will be, I don't know. Maybe a Guild Wars 3, I will just name drop it here. But we have no clues there. I think it's not Guild Wars Reforged. I highly doubt it. It might be one of the unannounced projects, yes. But I think now it's announced, and I think it's definitely not looking like that is such a big thing, at least in the developer resources drawing. With that much said, do I expect Guild Wars 2 to actually get updates like this when there will be a Guild Wars 3, if there will be a Guild Wars 3 in the future? Oh yes, I believe this is a very, very nice precedent case that they actually want to continue developing a game that they actually not currently the main focus. So if ever Guild Wars 3 will come out, I think they will instantly make Guild Wars 2 the same active, passive development that they currently have for Guild Wars Reforged. Definitely see that happening. That is a very, very good sign for all the Guild Wars 2 lovers that will not play Guild Wars 3 if it will ever come out, because you can still continue playing Guild Wars 2 probably for decades, which is really, really nice. And I think we will have to see how the updates for Guild Wars 1 will go, but I expect to get some more updates, maybe some changes, maybe some events even in there. And that is definitely what we want to see for a continuously updating game, even if it's not getting any more DLCs or expansions. I think that is definitely good. And we will have to see if Guild Wars will receive the same, but I definitely expect that as well. And I want to mention it here as well. We don't have a roadmap for 2026 yet. So we don't know if there will be an expansion in 2026 for Guild Wars 2. So we will have to see what they actually have planned for Guild Wars 2 and if they actually work more with 2 weeks together to get more development in Guild Wars 2 as well, or if they are now focusing on Guild Wars 3 and they will announce it in 2026. That's just my educated guessing here. I have no clue what happens. I don't have any more information than you do, but let me know your comments on this in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more debate, speculation videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.